Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about the Dsptch Ruckpack. And I really enjoyed using the company's day pack. I've talked about that one a lot over the past year. Just had a really great build quality and I felt like it really covered the basics for what I'm normally looking for very well. And so I was excited to see that the Ruckpack seemed to offer many of those same benefits along with a more kind of military inspired aesthetic. And so in this video, I'm going to be talking about what it's been like to use this over the past couple of weeks. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, I like that the bag offers kind of a mix of an outdoorsy vintage vibe with some modern, more techie elements. And so it feels like a versatile appearance that's gonna work well whether I'm using this for my day-to-day, going into the outdoors, or traveling. As far as the materials, the bag feels very solidly built. This exterior fabric is a 1680D ballistic nylon that's gonna offer plenty of durability and weather resistance. I've had great experiences with this fabric over the years. Beyond that, you just have really solid components all throughout, including some very smooth working YKK zippers. Continuing along the outside of the bag, you can see some of the more technical elements. You have compression straps on the sides and at the bottom. So these are going to be great for attaching additional gear that doesn't fit on the inside, particularly here at the bottom. You can loosen these up, use them to hold a tripod or a jacket. And then on the sides, you can use this to compress the bag down when it's not as full. It can help slim it down. These have G-hooks, which can take a little bit of getting used to, but for the most part, they've worked pretty well. I was worried that they were gonna kind of fall out if you were walking around and they weren't super tight, but because of the way that they're designed, they actually stay in place and it's not super hard to get them off if you wanna actually use them to attach something. And so you have one of these on each side, as well as a D-ring that you can use to clip on additional gear, maybe some hand sanitizer with a carabiner. And then on the sides, you also have dual external water bottle pockets that are gonna offer a nice amount of capacity. I like that this was able to easily hold my 26-ounce Yeti Rambler. You can see that that slides in there comfortably. There's still some leftover space if you have something a little bit larger because of how elastic these compartments are. And one thing about these that you'll need to keep in mind is that the compression strap does come over the compartment. I'm not always crazy about this system, as you kind of have to make sure that they're loose enough to be able to fit the bottle on the inside, but it does offer the capacity to do so. And then you can use the compression strap to secure this, or if you're not using the pocket, that can also just kind of help keep it closer to the bag. At the top, you have a pretty simple carrying handle. It comes up a decent amount, so it's gonna be great for hanging the bag up. And the material here is not super thick or padded, but it does get the job done. It doesn't feel like it's gonna tear or anything like that. And the bag is super minimal as far as branding. I don't see any logos along the exterior. You just have the Dsptch logo on the zipper pulls, but that's, pretty subtle, blends in nicely, and so great to see that. And the bag doesn't stand up super well on its own. That's the last thing I'll mention on the exterior. It is a little bit slanted on the bottom, and so I have had to lean this against the wall or, a chair or a table as I've wanted to access the pockets while I've been using it throughout the day. Moving into the capacity, this comes in at about 25 liters. Now, because of the rucksack style of the bag, that is a little bit of an adjustable volume depending on how much you fill the bag up. But generally, this is a size that I am a big fan of. It can work well, for a daily bag. I'm able to hold all the items that I normally like to have with me. I have some extra space. It can work well for minimal travel. And I like that even when it's a little bit more packed out, it never feels overwhelmingly large or bulky. So it's gonna work well in a lot of different situations, as well as, being a good bag to be able to carry onto a variety of domestic and international airlines. I think that it'll work well as a personal item on many airlines, but on some of the stricter airlines, I could see the height being a little bit of a problem. Continuing with the harness system, so far the bag has been pretty comfortable to wear. They offer a nice amount of padding here on the inside. You have a breathable material to help prevent moisture from building up. There's also a good width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders. At the top, you have load lifters, which I'm generally not crazy about, especially on a bag of this size. It just doesn't feel like they really offer that much value, so I could have done without them, but for the people that like them, they are there. And then you have an adjustable and removable sternum strap with a magnetic buckle. And on the back, you also have a nice amount of padding. I feel like this could be maybe a little bit more robust. It doesn't feel quite as thick as the padding that's offered on the shoulder straps, but you do have kind of a nice frame sheet to help distribute the weight, as well as that same breathable material here. And so it's been pretty comfortable to wear it throughout the day. I do wish that there was also maybe some deeper air channels. And then the last thing I'll mention here is that you do have a nice luggage pass shoe that is removable that will allow you to rest this on your suitcase while traveling. Jumping into the organizational options, at the top you have a couple of quick access pockets. First up on the lid, this one's gonna offer a good amount of capacity for the types of items that I'm grabbing most regularly throughout the day, like my sunglasses with their case. And then I also have my AirPods in here and a cable to charge my tablet and my phone. All of those things fit in there comfortably without any issues. And then in front of that, you have a smaller compartment, still a zippered area. This is gonna be a good spot for thinner items like a flashlight, a pen. Here I have a pair of scissors, and so those just rest in there very comfortably, easy to get to. And then on the front, you have an additional zippered quick access pocket that's gonna offer a nice amount of capacity for something like a laptop charger. That's what I currently have here, the cables and my USB-C hubs, so that I can get to them pretty quickly. On the back of the bag, you have a dedicated laptop compartment with dual zipper pulls. I like that one of them is a different color to make it easier to tell which compartment you're opening. And then you have plenty of space here in this dedicated compartment. This should be able to handle a 15 or 16-inch laptop. Currently, I have my 14-inch MacBook Pro. You can see that there's plenty of leftover space here. And I like that this is properly suspended off the bottom of the ground, so you can drop your laptop in there. It's not gonna be making contact. And you also have the rigidity on the back from the frame sheet. So good protection here. Very easy to get your laptop out of the bag. Now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. It does come up a decent amount, and with the amount of padding that's offered here and the fact that it's suspended off the bottom, it does feel like my device is gonna be well protected while I'm on the go. Moving into the main compartment, as the name of the bag implies, this does have a classic rucksack style opening. And so you have these two buckles that secure the top flap, and you can loosen them up to give yourself some additional capacity. You can also potentially use this to hold something like a jacket. I like that these are easy to release, but they also offer a secure hold. And so I think that this works well. The placement of these buckles is interesting. They're kind of hidden way under the flap here. And so that's something that, I haven't really seen before. And you really want to make sure that you bring the lid down over the opening to ensure that everything stays protected. And then once you open this up, you do have this drawstring closure here that will work well for giving you that extra space when you need it, if you really load the bag up. But then you can tighten it down and really make sure that the edges aren't exposed to the elements. And so, this is a style of bag that I've become accustomed to using over the years, and you can just reach in, grab something from the top if you need to. But one of the things that I like about this design is that you can also open it from the front to give yourself easier access to the main area and not have to dig through from the top of the bag. And so that flexibility is really helpful. And you can get a look at the inside. You have a pretty simple layout that's gonna be able to handle a modular setup well. So at the moment I have my AirTech pouch, I have packable rain jacket, another pouch from Peak Design, Civic Access pouch, 1/2 liter, a 1 liter. I also have a Bellroy Tech case. And so just a variety of different pouches, which is the way that I normally like to organize. And with the amount of space that's offered here, this could also work well for minimal travel. If I wanted to toss in a packing cube, a toiletry bag, an extra pair of shoes, I could use this for a longer weekend trip. Now with the main compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. You do have a little bit of built-in organization, a couple of slip pockets here on the back. That'll be great for tech or everyday carry accessories, maybe a portable battery, a mouse, charging cables, a notebook. And then you have a more padded sleeve here on the back. That might be a good spot for a tablet. I like that this is not just a simple slip pocket, it's a little bit thicker, and so great for an additional device, or if you do want to just use it to separate out some documents, a notebook, and if you don't want to use it, it just kind of stays out of the way. So a simple but effective layout there. And then the last thing I'll mention is that on the lid, you do have a zipper that allows you to access the front compartment that I showed earlier. So if you place the bag down and you open this up, you can still reach the items that are in this pocket, which is always nice so that you don't have to flip it closed to be able to grab something. So, just thoughtful design there that I think works well. And in general, I've been a fan of this layout. I think it offers a nice amount of flexibility, capacity. And so if you're looking for a more rucksack style bag that's going to give you a helpful layout and an excellent build quality, this is going to be a really cool option to take a look at. And so to wrap up, you can currently purchase this on the company's site for around $258, so definitely premium pricing. It does feel like you're getting something that's very solidly built and is going to offer a nice feature set, but there's going to be some other great bags in this price range that may be worth considering. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is of course Dsptch's Day Pack, which is a really solid everyday carry option. It's going to offer a similar harness system and build quality to this one here, but it's going to have a more just kind of classic day pack style. It's a little simpler if you're not a huge fan of the rucksack style kind of top loading style that this bag offers. Still going to offer a dedicated laptop compartment, some good organization, external water bottle pockets, the luggage pass through. So a lot of the same benefits, but just in a more streamlined package. So if you're a fan of Dsptch's aesthetic and materials, that's going to be an excellent option to consider. The next bag this made me think of is the Wandered Provoke. That's offered in a couple of different sizes. I'm a big fan of the 21 liter size. That has a roll top style opening that allows it to expand to give you some extra capacity. It's going to offer a comfortable harness system, padded laptop compartment. In addition to being a roll top, it does have the ability to open flat for easy access. And that's a great camera bag. It's got a lot of accessories that will allow you to organize your gear and keep it protected. And so really solid ecosystem there. And it's going to be a highly weather resistant bag. It's got the very durable kind of tarpaulin-like exterior, a minimal but useful layout, external water bottle pocket. And so, it's just going to offer a different style that will provide the same type of flexibility that this bag has. And so if you're looking for something that's going to be rugged and also camera gear friendly, that's going to be an excellent option to consider. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Air City Pack Pro 2, which continues to be one of my favorite new bags of the year. That one comes in at around 24 liters, so a very versatile size. It's going to offer a ballistic nylon exterior that's going to be very durable, weather resistant, super comfortable harness system on that one. It's got a great luggage pass through, a dedicated laptop compartment that's padded, suspended, and then just a really solid organizational layout. Lots of places to organize all of your essentials. You've got dual external water bottle pockets. And so it's just a really well-rounded bag. I love the style. And so if you're looking for a clamshell style bag that's going to have a more kind of modern and sleek aesthetic, and that's been one of the best options that you can take a look at. With that being said, the Dsptch Ruckpack holds up very well against all those options. And if you're looking for a durable and comfortable everyday carry pack that's going to offer a more classic top loading style, this is going to be a really cool option to take a look at. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the Ruckpack and how it compares to some of the other popular EDC bags that are currently on the market. And if there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank Dsptch for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.